Are we back?
All right. Favorite game on least favorite console, Larry.
Favorite game is Resident Evil on my least favorite console, PlayStation 1.
All right, Ben.
I think for me it's Mario Kart on the Wii. That was just, I played that a lot, but the Wii is definitely my least favorite console.
Seth, have you thought of one yet?
I would go. I didn't really play it per se, but I did play it. Twilight Princess on the Wii. I don't care for the Wii.
I would say Smash Brothers on the 3DS because I'm not a big 3DS fan.
All right. Good
Anyway.
question. Good show.
Awesome. Great show. All right. This is Ben. This is Seth. I'm Luke. This is Larry. Our information's down at the bottom. We're going to try to do as much of the after show as we can because that's more important than giving you all of our handles and stuff. We are the Player 3 Podcast.
Player 3 Podcast!
Player 3 Podcast.
P3P. And we're here in the After Party Lounge. And when we drop, we just drop.
Hello and
We're not
welcome
coming
to the
back.
Player
I
3
apologize.
Podcast After Party Lounge, where buttbox continues to be
No.
a prominent currency.
Stupid currency.
You can be a part of us as we're a part of you.
That's weird. This is all
I was
weird.
watching. I watched.
It's all very
I
weird.
watched a glitch video of where a scene in The Witcher where you go to a bad I can say brothel, can I? Brothel. All right.
You said prostitute every week.
About being a child, having a prostitute in your childhood on the GTA
You have
episode.
said much worse on this one.
All right, that's cool. So you're in a brothel and you go to do things with a brothelite. And
A prostitute.
And you end up like you become disembodied and all you are is a head, kind of like in that Scrub scene where it's just like a floating head. And basically your body is merged, but not in like a good way or a brothel way. Your body is merged with this girl, and basically your head just kind of goes over here and you hear some sounds, and then your head goes back here, and then you go out into the world after you're done, and your body is still merged with this woman. And basically, you're just kind of like some arms, a collection of arms and stuff, and you can swing your sword. But yeah, it was pretty cool with it.
Sounds horrifying.
Let me give a shout out to all of the peeps that gave us a follow.
Except one. We can't read
Except
your
for
name.
one, yeah.
We'll call you Andy.
Let me switch over.
Why don't we call him?
No.
Why don't we call him by his
There
last
is,
name?
there,
Andy Sandwich
there is
Maker.
no other part of that name.
All right. Thank you for the follow, Dean Winches 7
Winchester.
Yeah, that's
It's a
supernatural.
supernatural
Great name.
reference.
Great name, buddy.
You gotta growl when you say it.
And I'm not doing it again. Thanks for Job of the Pug, the follow Job of the Pug, Mad_Brock, both assassin, Two-Face GTA killer. And that is all for today. Hit that follow button if you haven't yet. We really appreciate you guys tuning in. Any games you are hoping for more detail at E3?
Mirror's Edge 2. And today they tweeted a picture for the first time. It's the first tweet since January. So we're going to see something.
Yes. The Division. That's really all I really care about. You guys?
Fallout 4 in the Division for me.
Yeah, Fallout 4 in the Division.
I also want to see more out of Guerrilla's new IP. The game with the dinosaur mechs. Do you think the Wasteland
Pacific
series
Rim?
will make the jump to full 3D like the Fallout series? I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means.
Hey,
What's Wasteland?
Dizzy, did you see Battleborn?
Yes.
Do you like it?
It looks great, but they're saying it's one of MOBA. There is a single player, so I will play it. But it's focusing more on the 5v5, and that's not really me, but I'll do it for the single player.
Competitive's so good, though, man. So good. I know it's not you. It's okay, though. I won't force you into our world.
It ain't me, babe.
No, it ain't me, babe.
I have no idea what any of those words mean. Epidemic.
Epidemic,
Creative
is this
assembly working
PC
I think
thing?
it's a PC question.
Because we're console guys.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry, man.
PC Master Race. I want to actually do want to get a Steam machine when they make them. I'm not even kidding. I'm being completely serious.
It's a waste of money, dude.
You think so?
Oh yeah, because it's lower specs than what you could just build a PC for, probably. Like everyone who sees that model is like, that's a ripoff.
Oh,
what you
well.
pay for those things. So if you want to get into PC gaming, just build a PC.
Well, I was listening to the Beyond podcast as I often do, and the guy.
Welcome to Not Our Podcast podcast.
One of the guys that was in there was talking about how he has a PC that he built that he just hooked up to his TV and he runs it like a console.
Empty vials. There you
what's
are.
up, Milky?
Milky, where you at?
Milky, there he is. There's Empty Vials. Get him for us in the chat. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I apologize.
No,
What
I
were you
just
saying?
yeah, it'd be cool to run one on my TV like a PC. I mean, like a console.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
Because I can mod it then. I will be able to mod and stuff.
I want to talk about something very quickly. And I've had to refresh the page, so the chat's gone, and I can't remember who it was. I think it was the delinquent that brought up the idea of. Actually, I don't remember what the point was.
What was the question?
It wasn't
All right,
really
here
a
you go.
question.
What
What's
do
up,
you-
Empty Vials? Oh no, it's gone from there too.
Okay.
It was during the show. He was talking about marketing in some way, and how that's
Oh.
why he switched over to PC gaming. Do you remember what the context was?
That he could mod and upgrade how often he wanted to. That was kind of the end of it.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Never mind. I thought he was making a different.
He
point.
seemed to be taking issue with the diskless PlayStation. I don't, and you asked him to elaborate, but I don't think he did.
Great Seinfeld reference in Duval's.
Oh no! What he was talking about was how like there are some hard drives that do not work, but in the PlayStation 4,
No.
you do have to buy a certain
Nothing.
size, but you're not limited in like what kind of brand that you can get. And we're gonna start to see more and more crap like the exclusivity stuff between different graphic cards. I believe where. And I'm not in tune with the PC gaming world, but I know there is a feud where apparently one company is kind of open with how their stuff runs, and so other companies can build for it, whereas one is more like veiled in what they're doing. Yeah, he did elaborate. It was about the hard drives. I remember that now. So I think there's going to be more exclusivity on PC than what PC gamers are normally used to coming down the pipeline. But like I said, I'm not really in tune with that world, so don't take my word for that. I'm trying to think. There was one other thing that was up in the chat in the beginning, and now I can't remember what it was. Yeah, Milky is not here, and I'm very disappointed. Delinquent Moobot does not like when you yell in all caps, so I would like to apologize.
You're gonna need to tone it down. The only one want to hear allowed to yell is Gary.
Are you just embracing Gary? at this
I
point?
couldn't think of anything.
I'm still alive, you guys!
No, you're
AMD
not
versus
Gary.
Nvidia, and I had a friend talking about how XCOM doesn't belong on consoles, but honestly, I know plenty of people that played it with a controller and enjoy it thoroughly. Yeah, XCOM was originally on console and PC, correct?
Yes.
I don't know. I never
yeah,
played it.
it was on Xbox.
And now it's going to be just PC, and I
Mhm.
know a lot of people were upset about that. Anyway,
I did a... Well, never mind. I was about to break the fourth wall.
what are you guys going to play this week?
Destiny? Probably Elder Scrolls Online. I'm probably going to buy it.
And your Vita?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
It was a probably earlier.
It's probably, yeah. Still so probably and maybe are the same for me.
Probably and maybe aren't the same thing.
Oh, they're the same for me.
I'm gonna be jumping back into The Witcher a little bit. I'm thinking about working on my Titan in Destiny. He's like a level 4.
Wonderful. Ready for trials.
Right.
I was talking to him the other day. I was reading on Reddit. There have people get on, and it's maybe just made by us just sucking, but there's a certain time that like the Epic Trials players get on Destiny. So we may have just got on at that time because we got on right when
Probably
the
it's
Trials
gonna be
dropped.
hard for me because I work nights, and so like I'm sure you can get on at like.
I'm just saying we were on the first day, so maybe it's just the
Yeah.
first day they're on Trials.
The people that are really good at trials are going to constantly be on trials, though. Like, they don't need to set up a time.
They're just gonna be farming for
Sure, I guess.
loot
I
drops.
think you guys need to find a way to get on Smite with me. Check it out.
Yeah, there is a place where you can get a code. Just they'll
Still?
give you a code. Yeah, it's on. I'll find the.
I wouldn't mind trying it. I've never really played a MOBA before, so
a Moobot.
The time is now.
Is that what you're playing this week?
Yes, I will be playing Smite. I'm going to play the crap out of
And I
Smite.
think I'm gonna play a little ODST.
ODST.
We need to do that together.
Yeah, we need to all get
Four
together
man.
to do that.
Well, I'll
It's
play it
pretty
again.
nasty
I'll
outside.
play it
boys.
Yeah, I need to go run my windows up, I think.
Right
Because it's about to.
Go ahead. We'll
All
still
right,
be here.
bye, guys.
I will be playing Destiny, and I will be playing The Witcher, and probably FIFA, because I just throw FIFA in there.
The old Halo addiction's coming back to me, so I'm going to give in this week, wallow in self-pity and guilt next week, and take a break probably.
Well, what we're going to do this week is we're going to freaking play the crap out of video games because we don't have video games next week.
You're right.
We're not going to be here, so we have an excuse. And most people would hang out with their significant others and try to get as much time with them, and our significant others are our consoles. We're married also. So.
No, I'm not. Empty Vials, please talk about Destiny for a minute.
Yes, please do.
You have our permission to speak.
And I'll answer this question. Epidemic earlier in the chat said, will a baseball game be picked up for release on Xbox One? Doubt it. Not a Major League license game. I would love to see that. I would love to see MVP Baseball make a return. But the MLB license is incredibly expensive, and I don't see Xbox spending the money when most of the people who really, really enjoy baseball games have made the leap and just play the show.
Unity Valves, it's interesting that you say that because I feel like it's a lot easier for new players to start up or try to catch up. Like
The loot system, like grinding and upgrading, is much easier now than it used to be.
I think so. Like I have the problem of never being able to get up to 30 to the max level, and now I'm already 34 because of what they've done to bring fire teams down to 3 in order to be able to get in-game materials like in trials or Prison of Elders. But even if you want to, like I had a warlock, I think my main character is a hunter, and I have a warlock that's like a level 24. I used to use them to farm like materials when you used to back in the day have to break down for Ascendant shards and Ascendant whatever it was. Ascendant materials either way. You still have to grind out reputations a little bit, but
If you play the Crucible, that's probably the biggest way to get upgrade materials and those sorts of things.
they've
and get drops
because they've increased the drop rate by like 100% or something like that. So you're like I'm constantly getting legendary weapons now.
And because you can take your Crucible points and then trade those things in for spin metal, relic iron, and helium filaments and those sorts of things.
You definitely don't have to grind as much, but
So and when you do that, you need to go down to the Crucible Quartermaster.
yeah.
If you go down into like where the Vanguard is and he's the guy to the left. He's a robot, right?
Yeah, I think he's a robot.
Robot.
A Rubit. So you're still going to have to grind a little bit, and that's the point of this game. Like that's kind of the nature of games like this, where there's
But one thing
constant loot.
is like part of the grind is I'm just going back and doing the same thing over and over and over again. One thing that I really like they've done with Prison of Elders is they're kind of rotating out new bosses and things like that in the fights. Every week so far they've been doing a different series of fights, and it keeps it fresh a lot of the time. The Trials of Osiris are doing a different map every week. And so you kind of really get to learn how to feel out the map and kind of develop strategies with your friends that you're playing with so closely.
Yeah.
I think this House of Wolves, we talked about it last week, and I think we talked about it the week before. It's really mixed things up in the game for me, and it's keeping it fresh.
It's made the game what I want it to be, big time.
Yeah. And no, the 3 of us play on PS4 and Larry plays on Xbox because that came out before we made the leap over into the Xbox world. So if you have a PS4, go down to the bottom and you'll see our gamer tags. You can add us. Do you think Fallout 4 is coming out this year?
With the history of big games announced at E3, I would be surprised. But no. Actually, Bethesda usually does pretty good at not running their hype trains too long. I think it will.
I think so as well.
Between now and next E3.
I think it will be October or November. I think it's going to be out this calendar year.
I
And
think
this
it'll
is
be
a game.
spring.
And this is a game where other games will run for the hills. Like this isn't a game that needs to find a window that it can be successful in because this thing could release on Christmas morning and people will go buy it.
It's true.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, Empty Vials, you will see it in the bio. Do you think it's coming out this year?
I really doubt it. I mean, it could, but
I doubt it.
I doubt it.
He read a rumor about Fallout 4 releasing, and there was some insider information from somebody on Reddit, and this was months ago, and from a former employee, and a lot of what they have said has been confirmed by trailers and announcements, but they, in their stuff, said that it was planned to be released later in 2015.
I'm sure they say they will say that it's due for 2015, but I'm almost
I am
positive
willing to
that-
make a milkshake bet on this.
Epidemics.
But we can't have too many milkshakes.
Rumored
We only
release.
have one.
We have one, but it's like 4 ways.
That's true. Go ahead.
Epidemics rumored release date of 10/31 would surprise me just because that's a Saturday. That's a weird release day for a game.
Yeah, that probably is a placeholder for October. If that is like was seen anywhere, it's because maybe somebody at Bethesda was like, "We're going to release this game in October," and so they were like, "Okay, October 31st."
And I'm not a savant that can tell you what day of the week everything is. It's just that Halloween is my favorite holiday. So
Thoughts on superhero games in the same vein as Arkham games? Apparently, Rocksteady is done with Batman after Arkham Knight, allegedly.
Green Arrow,
Ooh, that'd be good.
so good.
Has there really been any other games outside of the Batman Arkham series that have been really done superhero stuff justice? Injustice. But that's not
Justice,
really.
Injustice.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say Injustice.
Superman on the N64 sucked as epically as Arkham was good. Does that count?
I was wondering if you were talking about that seriously because I was going to do the blink thing. I do this.
I remember Spider-Man being really good on the Dreamcast.
There was a good Spider-Man game.
I think that was the Dreamcast one because I remember it being really good.
But it takes 40 bad games to get one good one.
Oh yeah.
Well, I think it's more indicative of the large... Oh, wait. I don't know if this counts. Marvel Ultimate Alliance. Those games were fantastic.
Well, if we're talking about Injustice.
I don't know about fantastic. They were pretty cool.
I
don't know about your face, Sam.
I love when someone disagrees with Larry's opinion and his first thing is, I'm going to eliminate you from this earth. I'm going to take this pen out of my pocket.
Listen, I got dreams for this world.
That is that's a good point. Delinquent just made. Well, I don't know. I don't know if it'd be exactly like it.
I think Ultimate Alliance, though, is more true to superhero universe than Injustice was. I don't know.
I like the turn that superhero like all the origin story shows that we watch now, like Arrow and Daredevil and the Flash. Like all of those they're leaving the bright, shiny, happy, like let's put on leotard side of the superhero realm, and they're going into the real they're a lot darker. And I think like that's why Arkham City probably or the Arkham series.
It's based off the success of the Dark Knight. And I feel it's probably going to get overplayed really soon.
Well, I think that's a big reason why. I think that's a big reason why the Arkham series was so like it's so well received because it's not so much, I guess, targeted at a kiddie audience. It's a darker kind of side of what's going on. So, and there are still like little kitschy like things. Like Arkham City had little funny like one-liners and stuff in it and stuff. But I just think that turn will make a game good.
Two things. The darkness of the game, I think, should be determined by the character. Like the Flash has remained pretty lighthearted as a show. It's been pretty good. It doesn't target kids, but it's also not like as gritty and as Arrow. Then the second thing is, how cool would it be to have a Daredevil game where the seeing dynamic was based on the sounds in the environment?
We do have that.
Really?
Perception. That's for
It's
real.
a
It's actually
Daredevil
going to
game?
come out. It's not a Daredevil game, but it's a game that.
I'm aware of Perception.
Oh,
I was saying it'd be neat to have like this
A Daredevil game. Okay, I
like a
got you.
fast-paced action you're fighting game.
He was answering the question. I think a Captain America game would be cool. Epidemic brought that up. And, like the first movie setting being World War II? Was it World War II?
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Ooh.
having like a superhero thing take place in like a historical period would be really cool.
You're right.
Avengers
Like-
period would be good. I think probably.
Huh?
Like Avengers period. Any of the Avengers, a game that it stars them
Oh,
would be
I thought
good.
you were talking about the time period in which the Avengers took place. I was like, that's today.
If they did it right, instead of just throwing a movie game together.
Yeah.
And if they did it in the way that like they're doing Batman
Yeah.
with you can take control of different people like in fight sequences.
Anybody played Lego Avengers?
Mm.
No.
Okay. Well,
I'm sorry, did I cut you off?
No. I was going to say something I forgot. Oh, you said a superhero that takes place in a time period. Like, what if they turned that episode of Captain Planet where he goes back and fights Hitler into a video game? Like,
Guys, I'd pre-order a Captain Planet.
have you ever seen that episode?
Hard.
Like, Captain Planet is indirectly responsible for the invention of the atomic bomb. He accidentally drops some codes in the
Oh, wow.
at the end of the episode. One of the American GIs is like, "Huh, we better get these back to the guys at Intel or something like that, or in science labs, some such."
I did not know that.
Are Hawkeye and Black Widow considered
He's
Agents of Shield? Or are they
I think
considered?
they're all
Avengers?
considered agents of Shield on some level, but I may be wrong.
But they're like more human. They're like they don't have superpowers.
Some of them do.
And apart from like
depends
Stark,
on your definition of superpower.
like Stark's the only one of the Avengers that doesn't have like a superpower. That he just has a super suit.
Hawkeye doesn't have superpowers.
That's what I'm saying though. Is like
Oh,
Hawkeye and Black Widow, are they considered like agents? Or are they because they were there before, weren't they?
I think all the Avengers are considered agents. Is what I'm saying. But yeah, they were there before.
Yeah, but they were part of like the recruiting. So I don't know. It's confusing to me. I don't. It's really dark and nasty outside.
Lloyd was running for something.
Really?
What is my wife doing?
I don't know.
Oh.
It's just running.
A jug, a water jug blew away. Wow,
Oh.
heavy wind.
Anyway,
Save the turtles.
the delinquent says games are so linear these days that when games give the option to explore, people like to check every corner of the world for Easter eggs and other things. Talking about how the appeal of Arkham City is of the Arkham games is that they're open world. I would disagree that like there is a ton of linear games today. I'm at like most of the AAA titles nowadays are becoming more and more open world. Games that weren't linear to begin with are finding their way into the open world. You have Metal Gear Solid. The next iteration of that is going to be open world. That's never been an open world game. The new what's the game? Is it Homefront?
Ooh,
That
I always
game-
forget that game's coming.
That game's going to be
That
open
game's
world.
gonna be awesome.
And for me, I'd rather have a linear experience sometimes to mix it up. I don't want every game to be open world, and I wouldn't mind a linear superhero game either, because the way that we generally consume superhero stuff is either through comics or through movies, and those are linear experiences. And so focus on good storytelling and putting those superheroes in situations that we can relate and connect with them in is more important to me than it just being open world for the sake of being open world. Just my thoughts.
Yeah, true. I like that.
Anything else in here?
This has been really good viewer interaction. Great job, guys. You've really picked it up this week.
Where'd it go?
Yeah. Sorry for all the dropouts too. I think it's because our computer needs an update.
It's also storming pretty heavily outside. Well,
Yeah.
it's not. It's
Did my
getting
wife
ready
get hit
to.
by a car?
No.
That's good.
Not yet. Hold on, I'll be right back.
I don't want my wife to die yet. Yeah.
Ooh, that would be cool.
What's that?
A good villain game.
Ooh, yes. Play as the Joker and attempt to trap, contain, beat up Batman. That'd be
I could see a Suicide Squad game coming out.
Ooh, yeah.
Not a good one.
Probably,
That
I'm
would
sure
be
not a
good,
good one,
though.
but I could
That
see
would
it
be
coming
good.
out.
Yeah.
That would be nice. Do we have they done a Justice League game besides the one where they fought each other?
No, I don't think.
Have they done a Repairman Man game?
Oh,
Repairman!
Ant Man.
I'd like to see that. Me too,
What
Gary.
movie I kind of want to see is Ant Man for real though. I saw that.
I hate Ant-Man so much.
I hate it too, but Paul Rudd is just going to be a good Ant Man. I feel like.
Just give us all the superhero game we're looking for and give us an Aquaman game.
Yes,
Come on, man.
Aquaman is undervalued.
he's awesome in
They
Injustice.
can't do that because
He's awesome.
of the Entourage thing. Entourage. You ever watch Entourage?
Mm-mm.
He played Aquaman in that movie. Or in that show. In the movie, in the show.
In Entourage,
Yeah.
there was Aquaman was an Entourage. Entourage.
What are they in different
It's
entourages?
about what?
What?
What are you talking about? The HBO?
yes.
Aquaman was in
He's Vince is an actor and he plays Aquaman.
Oh.
Oh,
Gotcha.
okay.
Okay.
You know,
Uh,
you've brought up a good point about Aquaman's
So now
powers.
there's a meta Aquaman
I think-
universe out there.
What?
What is?
Like the
running
power
around.
that he can control water, so technically he could like rip the water from your body.
Yeah.
That would be intense.
And he's stronger than Superman. Bet you didn't know that.
Is it really?
It's easier to pick up things in the water.
No, he caught a building on land.
Nah, he formed water around it in order to lift it.
Just admit it.
He just didn't
Just
see
admit
it.
that you love Aquaman. You don't want to.
Now, here's what I think would be a
oh,
fantastic
there is an Aquaman game.
Here's what I think would be a fantastic game. Take Vince. He is playing Aquaman on TV. Reality becomes disaligned for him. He does not know how to separate his character from who he actually is, and so he goes out and tries to be Aquaman in real life, and immediately gets killed
Drowns.
by trying to build a house under the sea and forgetting to come up for breath.
Here's your excellent villain game, and the concept may be overplayed because of Assassin's Creed, but a League of Shadows game where you're one of the assassins in that'd be neat.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
you get to go to the superhero cities and wreak havoc. Be a
Uh,
good twist on one of those.
what is the guy's name? Who Deadeye? Is it Deadeye? Is that the one who had his mercenary?
He is
Deadshot.
a person, Deadshot.
He is a person.
That would be a cool villain game. I mean, think about just taking out mercenary contracts the whole time. You know, just killing people, ruining their families, really just giving people a reason to fight you. You know, raising up new superheroes because they want to get revenge on you.
And then retiring eventually and raising a family
Yes.
and then having to get brought back into the game when you're
Having to
old,
manage
when
all
you're
that.
old and rusty. Hey, I'm getting too old for this ish.
Then you have to manage like bills. It becomes a Sims game after that. Like after you beat the main story, it becomes a Sims game.
And-
Well, for a while
and 80
until you have to go back out of retirement.
And 87% of the game is that part, the
Right.
managing your old
Growing
family.
old because
People
you
hold
fight
on.
when you're young, but you don't want to destroy your body, so you start to feel your bones start to crack and stuff like that in the middle of combat. So you
Ooh.
kind of decide when to.
EA files trademark for Mirror's Edge Catalyst.
There you go. Because that'll probably be the name
Gosh,
for it.
I'm gonna get that tattoo in celebration. Just
With a teardrop on this side.
I could never let a needle within a foot of my eyeball.
Yeah, that would be awful. That
What
would
if
be
you
so
did
bad.
it like right underneath your eye, and you were just like, I can't do that anyway.
Don't say things that'll make me pass out on the show.
You ever that episode of or the thing from Dead Space? Yeah.
Shut up. Stop.
All right. Let me ask you guys this question. Let me ask you this.
Yes.
This has nothing to do with anything that we're talking about. Wolfenstein: The Old Blood is going to be getting a physical release, and we've seen some like limited run physical releases of digital games. What is a game that has released digitally that you're really into that you would like to get your hands on a physical copy to have forever and ever? Being guys who are nostalgic and like stuff that comes in boxes, is there a certain game that it's like, I really want a physical copy of that?
Minecraft.
You can get a
Can you buy a
physical
physical copy of
that,
Minecraft?
that exists all over.
Yeah.
the
Oh,
place.
it does already.
All
Yeah.
over the place.
on every platform but Vita. You can get a physical
Shovel
copy.
Knight.
I thought Vita had one.
Shovel Knight would be good. No, it comes with a voucher
Ah,
with a
okay.
code.
I can see a
inside
bunch of like look back because that whole game is pretty much just derivative of other games, right?
Yeah.
I haven't beat it yet, but it's all, pretty much all derivative of all
Yeah,
kinds
it's
of
a
those.
it's a love letter to platformers.
So it would be really cool to have a box art that is just that, a love letter to platformers.
For me, it would be Hotline Miami 1 and 2. I just think the art style on that lends itself, and it could come
Really
with the
cool looking.
soundtracks. That'd be really cool for me. Anything for you?
I'm trying to think of a digital game I have.
Oh, yeah, because you don't generally play digital games.
All I've got is Happy Wars,
Anything?
and I don't want a physical copy of it, so I'm good.
No, I don't think I've got anything. I mean, First Light's probably the closest thing, the infamous DLC. But it wasn't really big enough to warrant a physical release, so I don't.
Alan
it was
Wake's
still pretty. It
American
was still
Nightmare.
pretty big, and Alan Wake's American Nightmare.
I just remembered the thing in the chat I wanted to come back to.
Shadow Complex. I would like to have a physical copy of that also. That was arcade, and that was a great game. And it'll be released with a lore book that I could read all of the. I think they have a novel, Shadow Complex.
I remember one of the things I wanted to say that was in the chat earlier, but let me ask you this. We were talking about the physical digital thing, and you guys talked more about how like the box art and that stuff was really important to you. What if you could pre-order like a physical copy? You get the box, and it's like a Minecraft. It's got the digital Minecraft for Vita. It's got the digital voucher inside of it, but it comes with like a booklet and other things that surround physical.
I wouldn't be totally opposed to that.
I'd like it.
And you would still get it before
Yeah.
it releases, so you could preload it onto your console and play it at midnight. That'd be awesome. I'd be all right with that. But here's the thing: somebody in the chat earlier, and I can't remember who it was. If it was I think it was Epidemic actually, said that physical copies of games are never going to die off. They are never going to phase out. And I think never is a long time.
I think we'll be dead before they do.
I just don't think so.
Well, first, you're going to have to get internet to every part of the country. And so you're going to have to overthrow ISPs.
Well, but
I mean, just look at the storm that came from Xbox announcing that you were going to have to check in online every
But that's
day.
what I was going to say is we were an uprising short of that happening, of a company just saying we don't care if people have
Well,
internet
no,
access.
it would have happened, but then they would have gone broke, and they would have a dead system within the first year.
But would they have?
Close to
People
it.
were mad about it, but people would have bought that console, and they sold well, still having to play to rebuild off of the fallout from all of that stuff. They were still, trying to make up ground for that. And
No, you're right, but they would have. I mean, they wouldn't have seen nearly as much, and I think they would have learned a lesson from that.
And I think what we're seeing with Xbox's strategy is now they realize that it's just going to have to be a slow burn to that day where they get to that point. And we're seeing more and more games that require internet connections anyway to play. And so there are companies already saying, screw it, we don't care about people with internet access. So I can see the day coming.
I can see
much
there's
sooner.
there's more people that are like I think I just saw it come up and it made me think about it. Whoever just said it about like buying it and it's not actually yours, buying it digital.
Yeah, because you're just renting the
That's
rights
why
to it.
that's why the DRM stuff was such a big upheaval between the people because who wants to do that? I hate that I don't own the music I have on iTunes, but I just have to deal with it.
Right. And I don't think necessarily that people are going to be... I don't think the right move necessarily was to abandon the idea that the Xbox One originally had, but rather to rework the policies into a way that was more consumer friendly, because it just really seemed like a big, we're going to take a crap on you for just because we want to have more power over the consumer. But if they can figure out how we own that, like making it so that we do own those things, and that's why I said that if we move to an all digital world, it's going to require a change in policies. We can't have people who just lose their PlayStation account because there was a double charge and they stop payment on the second charge because that's just what banks do, which has
Yeah.
happened. So they've got to figure those things out. What's that?
Nothing. Don't look at it. Don't read it.
Anyway, the delinquent says they're gradually and slowly grooming us to not care about physical copies, and I don't know what that means. What?
Are you talking about the delinquents comment?
Yeah.
It's just he's saying that they're trying to get us to not want them as much. They're I don't know, like by I guess by creating the they're taking away the advantage of by having digital content of you not having to go to the store and get it at midnight. You can download it early. Things like that. They're trying to level the gap, but as long as there's no price. But when push comes to shove, when you're buying digital content, even if it's just the difference between a box, you're buying less.
Yeah.
So why not have that price jump down?
I feel like he's just repeating what you said of like they realize it's got to be a slow burn. It's a slow move.
But you're both kind of on the same page.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm sorry. Well, and we care. Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay.
Way to go, Luke.
Thanks, Gary.
Shut up, Gary. Nobody likes you.
What do you guys think about mom and pop shops selling before release date?
That sounds dangerous.
I think they should be burned to the stake.
I think companies would be well within their legal rights to prosecute
Shut them
such
down.
companies, such shops.
All right. Well, we'll address the second part of that comment, and then I think we're going to get out of here because I'm kind of hungry.
Let's win in 3 hours or something. Crazy.
First of all, mom and pop shops. That's one of the things with like the NBA 2K16 release is that if you pre-order, you can pick it up 4 days early, and so there's going to be stores left and right giving free copies of that. I mean, giving early copies of that out, and I don't know how they're going to police that. And I think we're going to see more and more games start to do things like that, especially as pre-orders begin to fall off in their relevance. But mom and pop stores should be held just as accountable as big box stores, GameStop, Walmart, and with the POS systems that we have, there are ways to lock out, different products to say you can't sell this before that date. Then Empty Vials continue. He says Twitch is catching a lot of people on early streams and banning them, but it's the fault of physical distribution. No, it's not. It's the fault of people on Twitch not understanding policies that are in place, that if you stream early, you are at risk of being banned.
Right.
And you have to be held accountable for your actions. It's not the fault of physical distribution if you pop it in and you hit the start streaming button. Like, it doesn't just automatically start streaming when you put it in.
An internal Lotus of control.
Whoa.
Ooh,
Power outage.
The power blinked. I don't think we lost anything. I don't. We're still connected to the internet.
For
Anyway.
now.
Taking responsibility.
Slight blink.
I am the master of my own destiny.
All right.
All right, we ready to get out of here,
It's a
boys?
fun podcast. We'll see you guys later. Before we leave, Seth's phone number is
276.
276-634-5827.
Oh my gosh.
It's not right.
Did you hit